People begin to run and take shelter. Fire rains down and crashes into another building. The people are hiding. They're taking shelter. They're running as far as they can. Some are on horses trying to escape the city. Anything to survive this. What did they do to deserve this? What did they do to anger a demon? And the black wings of the Baylor demon descends from the clouds yet again as it makes another approach to the city of Bramble. And a star-skinned changeling pulls back on a bow as he charges it with energy. This was not in his mission detail. He releases the arrow as it strikes to no avail. He's going to have to think of something else. And quickly, someone rushes to his side. A spry wizard, having gotten up from the infirmary. Well, now, I know they call me Wild Jerry, but this is a little bit much to wake up to. Do y'all have this kind of problem often? And quickly, a voice responds, oh, this is not the sort of thing this town here gets. As Heretic Portvane walks up to the group. But it does seem like we are going to have to try and handle this situation. You newcomers, would you mind giving an old man a hand? I may not see as well as I used to, but I think I've got a few tricks left in my sleeve. And he begins to roll up his sleeves. As now revealed are several magic rubies embedded into his skin. And finally, as a woman finishes ushering the children into safety, he shuts the door and bars it. And her hands begin to glow as she turns and a shield forms as Stara Holfron charges. And the last remaining fighters stand, try and defend the city of Bramble against this new threat. They know not where it came. But I mean, like, y'all don't care. You're not even there anymore, you know? Y'all left. Y'all went to
Who gives a shit?
Y'all went to a
yeah,
library.
Stara.
They got Stara.
Wait, we didn't kill Star. Good. Okay, good.
Came close.
So yeah, you went to the library, you know, ready to read some books, you know. So yeah, you're here in the library, and ahead of you, a cat just walked down an aisle that is marked on one side with numbers, and one of them is third, and the other side with names and words, and one of them is illusion. So this cat has walked down the aisle, third and illusion. Who has the book right now?
Me, I think.
Okay.
I think you do.
And you feel it start to kind of flap violently in your possession. So if it's in a bag, it starts to like move about.
Okay, I'll grab it amongst the tons of paper I have.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
research I've stolen from Star. The years of just work, and I'm just like, ah.
You're like, well, I better pocket that. I bet that'll come in handy.
Really quickly, the cat walked down the illusion aisle.
It walked down the aisle that was titled sort of like street signs, third and illusion.
Third and illusion. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Which are the same directions or location you saw for the book.
Yes, I got that.
Can I send
in a note somewhere?
You know, I'm gonna pull out the book and see what's going on with it.
Yeah, and so as you pull it out, it's sort of fluttering in your hands, and it's trying to pull away from you towards that aisle.
I guess I'll slowly start walking that way, not letting go, so I can still follow it pretty easily.
Yeah. And are the rest of you following suit, or are you watching what Bucket does? How's this play out?
Gallagher's gonna follow straight up behind Bucket, just right at the ready at all times. He's very on edge right now.
Yeah, and Alunan says, all right, so we just follow in the book, and you hear Amir say, What could possibly go wrong? And just proceeds to follow behind. What about Taika and Proxima?
So the daggers start going around Taika's figure as he activates them to raise his AC, and will follow at a distance.
Okay.
Yeah, Proxima is going to unsheath her super cool talking sword and follow.
Okay. And as you unsheath your sword, you hear Spectre in your mind. Are you needing to take a life?
Perhaps not yet, but the readiness is all.
I am always ready. Are you?
Proxima re-sheaths Spectre. She's like, no, fuck that. That's too much. That's too much to handle right now. She's like, nah, no,
Way
she
too
doesn't
much
like
edge.
this. That's too much. That's
pretty
too much.
edgy.
That's too much. That's too heavy right
That
off the
freaking
bat.
Shadow the Hedgehog stuck in your
Yeah,
pocket.
honestly.
Like, nope.
She goes, no. That's it. That's what happens. That's what that looks like.
And I
Yeah, it just goes right back in. Like, not yet. We're not doing this right now. No,
Wait,
no.
it's got a telepathic link.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
would
he
he-
does.
no.
He's just fucking.
Is it actually?
Now he's just taunting me from inside the sheet.
What about Doc?
We're in the library in the land of knowledge. Lots of books.
Everywhere. So many aisles. There are floating bookshelves above you that are just layered. There are ladders that are just reaching to what seem like just forever up. And there are these automaton type creatures just walking about.
Okay, and we can see like street signs or signs that denote different
Aisles
is
and stuff,
there any aisles or things immediately in my sight that look like what would I be looking for? Spell work or a place where it looks like spell books are kept.
So first off, make me a perception check.
Yes, I shall do that.
Actually, sorry, what is your passive perception?
15.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and make that check. But with that 15 in general, there are so many books here, and something tells you that you grab a book, there's going to be potential for magic here. Now, as far as like a specific one, what was your perception check?
Don't ask.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, you're looking around and it's like there's a book flying from one shelf to another. There are embossed books. There are different aisles labeled like illusion and mystic and legend and just like all these different words on so many aisles.
cool. Then yeah, I'll be following the group.
Okay.
My hands crossed behind my back like they want to do.
Yeah.
But as I walk, there's like a book probably flying above, and then my mage hand just grabs it out of the air.
Yeah.
And he just starts to look at it and go, there's a lot to learn.
Okay.
Just go.
So real quick, you grabbed a book. I'm going to roll.
Oh no. See, don't do that. You can't. I'm
Okay.
a wizard.
Do you-
You
let
can't
it
do
go.
this to me.
Do you speak or can you read Draconic?
I could.
You can?
I could.
Okay.
I don't yet, but I could.
Okay, so yeah, if you can't read it, you will see that it is written. This book is written in completely in Draconic, and there, as you're going through, you're seeing that on some of the pages there are sigils, there are markings for like what look like sketches of how to stand in a ritual with like 8 members, and so it's definitely you've picked up a magic book, but this one is in a different language.
Understood. Then what happens is, I'll be following them like I'm right behind you. Just because I feel like I might need to do it regardless.
Yeah.
I start to look at it and like you might see perhaps if someone stands behind me, but I think I might be in the back. A tattoo just starts to light up on like the back right of his neck. And his eyes kind of flash over as slowly but surely he begins to decipher the language, casting comprehend languages as a ritual.
Oh yeah, and just run me through that real quick, just to make sure. So comprehend language, you just get access to the whole smorgasbord,
For
right?
the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Hell yeah. Cool. And so what we'll leave here as you're thumbing through this book, now that you decided, like, I want to be able to understand stuff here, and you are now reading a book in Draconic that is it is a old book, and it is an old style of ritual that it seems that people often wanted to be blessed by the blood of dragons, as were the Dragonborn. And so the casters figured out a ritual in which to grant the process of becoming dragon reborn, thus creating essentially half dragons. So instead of dragonborn, a humanoid could come into contact with dragon blood under a certain ritual, and they could become half dragon, much like a dragonborn, instead of whatever race they were. And you've just snagged a book like that out of the air. Now, Bucket, you've got this book, and it's leading you down at the front of the aisle, and you are there now. And as you're walking, you are getting up to a shelf, and there is a section of about 100 identical books to the one in your hand, and they are just sitting there with their spines open, and there's space in there, and this book is pulling at your hands towards that shelf.
I'll let it go.
And as you do, it tumbles out, almost slamming into the shelf because it was fighting against you when you let go, and it smacks into the shelf, and then it turns slowly, aligning itself, goes up and slides itself back onto the shelf. There is a bright glow that comes from inside the book, and it settles down.
I'm going to pull out the one next to it, like an identical one next to it, and I'm just going to thumb through it.
Yes, and so as you pull out the very next one, you open it up, and this one is complete from start to finish, and it is a story. Again, much in the same fashion that you saw in your book, how it sort of tells a tale. This one tells the tale of a hero defending a city with nothing more than a shield, titled Bragar and His Shield Go to War. And you read through it, and you see the culmination of Bragar, this character's life. And it starts in a small town, growing up, eventually learning, was not great with weaponry, but was excellent at defense. And down the road ends up in a battle and defends the entire city by holding out for 8 hours with nothing but a shield until reinforcements arrived to take on the invaders. And then the story is complete. And that is the story of Bragar's shield.
I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to start looking at a bunch of the other books and seeing if it's just stories like this.
Proxima sort of like peeks over Bucket's shoulder.
Yeah, I'm going to like look at this. This is some weird shit.
Are there any sort of like dates on the books, or are they all just like story book titles?
Okay. Yes. Give me an investigation check, the two of you.
Okay. Come on, baby. God damn it.
17 plus 3, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
I got a 7.
Okay. And
But
so
if anybody wants to spend those channel points.
so with that 7, what we'll say here is your investigation is about wanting to see what the other books are. And you asked the right question. Are there those things? Yes, those dates are there. There are dates in them, but they're all in Plumora and in post-fall. And so in all these different times and dates in here. But some of them, you remember that you were in the year 10... what I think we ended you at 1050, and now there are several in here that are dated like before the fall, of gods, and they're still just stories of people. But on your end, Bucket, specifically investigating, you grab these and seeing that Proxima has come up to start reading them through, you think, well, I'll reach from the next shelf up. And you reach from the next shelf up that is, again, identical books. But as you pull them out, these are blank.
Huh.
And at this point, one of those animatronic beings walks up and says, "Hello, intruders. May I assist you?"
Fuck me.
Yes. Absolutely.
Gallagher's gonna go. What exactly are these books? I'm deeply confused.
Oh, you are looking at our reading books. They will read the future of a story, and when the journey is complete, they are complete as well.
I'm gonna go grab our book and see what's inside of it.
While Bucket is doing that, can Proxima look to see if she recognizes any of the names on the stories before our book? Like that side?
And so, okay, so here's what we'll do in this. First off, Offbeat, you asked the question, is there anything you want to say or do in response to that response that they gave?
Gallagher's gonna say, gonna like stroke his chin a bit, and he's gonna go, how do the books know the future?
Oh, that is easy to explain. And inside its chest, a sphere drops down, and it's glowing with a faint white light. And it reaches inside and it hands out this orb to you. Here are your answers.
Gallagher is going to tentatively touch it and hold it.
Careful.
And as soon as you come into contact with that orb, energy rushes up your arm to your brain, and you have just downloaded the contents of the book that explains how these books work, as this being has just transferred the library knowledge of that book to you. And you now know, hands down, these books are magically imbued with energy left over by children of fate. And they are storybooks that, if asked a question or given a journey, they will begin to document it one step ahead. So if you were to ask a question of a blank book, it would begin that journey in the book. And it would have one step ahead of its reader. So, over now real quick. Bucket, you wanted to grab your own book that you had just put back. As you grab it, you read the completed story now. Gravvicon the cat found a book and needed to return it to its home because Gravvicon didn't know where it belongs. Gravvicon the cat found some people to help locate the location of the book's home. And these 5 ended up talking to a witch in the woods who did not have answers, pointed them in the direction of a town where they spoke to a small serpent and then a large serpent, which pointed them ultimately in the direction that led them right to a library. And when they finally came to the library, they returned to the book and checked out another. And it shows in this that one of you is holding a book.
Cool. So the shelves. Sorry, you go.
Right. No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna put that back, and I'm gonna look at the book. I'm gonna go look at, like, I can see that Gallagher's talking to the robot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the process in checking out a book?
Oh, well, if you are not killed, you may check out a book to keep its knowledge.
What?
Why are we being killed?
So, Katie, real quick, you had a question first for Proxima that she was glancing over looking for names.
Yeah. Specifically, I'm looking for my dad, but if like I see anything that I recognize.
Yes, and looking through these books, you do see a book titled Nebula.
Can I take it off the shelf and read it?
Yes. So you pull off this book and you open it up. And this book has been what looks like completed. And reading through it, it begins with a changeling plucked from nowhere and going everywhere. The journey of 1,000 faces. And it shows the journey of a changeling who travels the universe looking like 1,000 different people in 1,000 different places. And even in one of those, they have a family. And in that journey, someone reaches down and plucks them out and puts them somewhere else. And yet again, this hooded figure in a green hood keeps plopping the man of 1,000 faces somewhere else. And it's the story of the continual plucking and plucking and plucking of this person. And ultimately, the story ends with them being plucked one last time and them catching the hand of the person plucking them and choosing where they went themselves. And that was the end of the story.
Okay.
So with that, Taika, you are right now with a bunch of things floating around you. You have swords floating around you. And two beings, these robotic creatures, come up from behind and say, "Hello, intruder. Are you preparing for a battle?" And they withdraw weaponry.
Look, I'm just not really prepared. I can stop. I can stop. and the daggers just slowly kind of lower down and go into their holsters.
And they sheath theirs and say, "Welcome. Now, is there anything that we can assist you with?"
Yeah, do these books have a like a numbering system? Specifically, maybe I'm looking for 793.8.
Oh, yes. This is that section. You are looking for the section on magic. And
Yes,
fate.
yes. I knew that, yes.
Excellent. Is there anything else we can assist you with?
And that's not a specific book. That's a section.
Yes. 700 is this area, and your particular number is this corridor.
Okay, well,
And there are several like aisles and stuff here. Yeah. But you have just been told you are in that section.
then Taika will kind of like have a smirk on his face and like look around to the rest of the party. Well, we're close, guys.
I'm pretty sure this is. Yeah, never mind. So do tell me, in that little magic orb that granted me the knowledge of these books, it mentioned children of fate.
Oh, yes.
Who are those? And who are their parents?
Well, a child of fate would be a child of fate.
Fate made children. Gallagher, not comprehending this moment, is going to
And-
crouch down into his hands.
Another orb drops into the center and it reaches in and it withdraws it and it extends its hand to you with another glowing orb.
Oh no. He grabs this one, fully preparing for more knowledge.
Yeah, and as you grip your hands on that, the knowledge comes rushing into you as you have now read a book that discusses the entity of fate, which is different and most commonly confused with the gods of time. But an entity of fate is a creature in this realm that predicts, and things interacting with it can create other predictors. And those young and new to the power were called children of fate. And a child of fate created this book. And there are only a select number of them. A few thousand were made simply by that entity. But that's what these books are. And so it kind of gave you the rundown on the creature or entity of fate and its presence creating children of fate.
All right, those magical orbs, the fact you're bogarting them, you should be giving out more of those. They're very useful. Well, how much knowledge do you have here in this here library?
And it drops another orb. And this one is glowing black. And it goes to hand it to you.
Why is that one different colored?
This one
Don't hand me
contains-
another orb, I swear to God.
This one contains all of the knowledge in the library that we are permitted to give. It is a lot to withstand and will kill most entities.
You can keep that one to yourself. I don't need that.
Did you
All
not
right.
want to know the contents of the library?
I did, but my brain is not that big. I'm a very simple man with a lot of knowledge of the happenings of the world. I don't need the happenings of the entire multiverse, I guess.
And it
Talk-
takes that
talk
orb
to
and
that one
places
back
it
there.
back into itself,
Hmm.
and then reloads that.
So, you just called us intruders. Is that a problem?
Oh, absolutely. All intruders are to be tested. Is there anything we can help you with before you are expunged?
Before anything happens,
Yeah.
a lot has happened.
Mhm.
You know, it feels like it's definitely been more than 10 minutes. So now that I have the spell done and I have this book, out of character, though he wouldn't know this, when Bucket read that they would check out another book and someone had the book, was that referring to the book I had?
Could be.
Don't like you. Cool. Then cool. I will just hold on to the book. I am very curious about it. It just seems interesting. It's not the first thing I want, but it was interesting. I'll keep it.
Yes,
Anyhow,
first one
I'll
that came
walk. Yep, I will walk to the group. Oh, okay, you've returned the book, and this just seems interesting. Did you know that they're half dragons, not dragonborn, half dragon?
Really?
Yeah, it's an interesting science concept. I'm very curious to learn more.
Wait,
What do you?
does that mean dragon? And I'm not going to think about it.
No,
I think-
no. A dragon did not have sex with a human.
Thank you.
Or a humanoid or anything other than a dragon to create a half dragon. This is more of a arcane ritual to like imbue yourself with the blood and the might of a dragon without, the consensual copulation that could happen instead.
Thank
You're
you.
thinking of a 3.5 thing. That's not available to us. this one.
3.5 edition.
Wait.
I'm pretty sure this is version 1, but there could be other versions. I'm not sure.
Actually, before we do anything else, I want to grab one of the blank storybooks.
Okay. Yeah, Bucket, you grab one and it is blank. And you have sort of in your mind the question form. What's our adventure?
And I'm just gonna say completing the objective that Gravvicon has given us.
And it shows you reading this book. And there's a second page that glows now. And as you turn to look at the second page, there is a cat that you are all turning to look at. And it reads, Bucket the Bastard, headed in to the fight of his life.
Oh
Okay.
no!
I'm gonna everyone look for a cat and be prepared.
And at the end of the aisle sits a cat, staring directly at your group. And all of the creatures, all of the robotic beings begin to back away.
Oh god.
What exactly is happening? What did you learn?
Bucket, are you all right?
I'm summoning my Hellcat, and I'm like, everyone, we're about to get into a battle. Apparently, the fight of my life. So,
What?
that's what the book says.
How long have you lived?
How long have I lived? I don't know.
Well, all I know is that most of the more difficult battles come after, they come with time. So how bad could this one
Gallagher,
be?
my best friend, my bestest friends. I love you, but please, I'm very scared right now. The book says I'm going to die.
Not gonna die, but you will certainly have the battle of a lifetime.
I hate you.
And this cat looks at you all. And with a single meow, you all shift where you're at.
Counterspell. Nope, not happening. I'm kidding.
And this is no spell.
I figured.
And as you do that, everything in the area seems to expand. It's suddenly like if this room was a piece of taffy, someone has grabbed the edges and pulled everything away to where you're standing in a blank, empty area. And this cat begins to walk, and as it does, it grows larger and larger and begins to take shape and form, as ultimately it ends with large paws. And it shakes its muscular shoulders as its lion's mane hangs down, and several markings glowing on its face with the head of a lion, and its wings stretch out, and it stands now.
Is it a
as
sphinx?
It jumps up to the top of a bookshelf
Hell yeah!
and looks down at you all and says, "Welcome to Gilramore."
Writing that down.
Oh, I love riddles. I hope there's a riddle.
And it looks to you and says, "You seem to seek knowledge, the treasure of all beings. Now, what are your questions, and is it worth anything to you?"
Oh, can we take?
I'm pulling out all my research stuff, like the words that we can't read, and I'm be like,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pass like a bunch of papers to each of them. Like, we need to find the words we can't read and ask about those.
That is honestly
Already
a
good.
very good idea.
I feel like we already got answers to that, did we not? Was it not a matter of just like, I don't know, I could be wrong. We learned it was about a god of some kind.
The destruction of the
King
god.
Julian.
That's it's about the fall. The words we read are about the fall and about some god. I can't remember. Corso,
God of chaos.
Corso, could
Was it
you
not?
give me a recap? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what Julian, the dragon, was able to tell you was he can't speak the words, but he remembers that's the name of a demigod who got very uppity and hated the human side of himself and wanted to be completely removed from such. And it was also a god of destruction, a god that wanted to destroy everything, and that was dealt with. And he can't for some reason speak the name, but he remembers, like, yeah, that was like a god of destruction that was stopped.
Do we want to ask why? Do we want to ask why the name was removed and we can't speak it at all, or?
I think we also need to consider whether or not how valuable that information is. I feel like if we ask a question and
Yeah.
that cat thing decides, we could very well find ourselves removed of our ability to live.
But what else do we ask?
I,
We don't
The
have
other-
many questions.
yeah.
The
I
other
mean,
issue is the fact that technically we have completed our task for Gravvicon. We returned the book.
But that means we should be returned to Gravvicon.
And yet we aren't, which means
I do think I overheard Bucket ask a question of that book, of that new book he picked up. You wanted it to help us finish our quest, right?
Mhm.
And then you said we are entering the fight of our lives. I think the next step for us is we get in a mighty tussle.
I guess I'll look at the Sphinx and I'll hold up the book and I'm like, my almighty Sphinx. I have a storybook here that says that in order to complete our mission, we have to get into a fight for our lives. What do you have to say to elaborate upon that point?
Is knowledge worth your life? Knowledge is the power that could unlock many things. And within each of you, I sense a deep question. child.
oh.
Searching for a parent. A mentor wishing to aid someone. Someone looking for a better life. Someone looking to understand their newfound powers. And someone seeking the answer to a dark entity. The answers reside in this library. Are the answers worth your life?
Well, I would say forgive me, but I guess I'll say it out of formality. Forgive us for intruding in this library. But unfortunately, I don't know if that specific question can be applied to the five of us. If you understand the questions we have, you must understand why we have said questions, which means you have the knowledge of knowing where we've come from or what we've done in order to get to said question. Therefore, you know that most of us have already lost life. Life isn't the important part at this particular point in time, if I'm being honest.
So, are those answers worth your life? And it jumps down now from the bookshelf to stand on the ground about 30 feet from you.
What? He's giving us combat measurements.
I love Gallagher. Like, Doc is
Would
like,
you-
shut up, but I love Gallagher. Go ahead, Proxima.
What would you do in order to seek answers? Many a fool seeks answer to a question, yet is not willing to pay the price to earn such knowledge.
Proxima steps forward and she kind of leans her head back to sort of try and look at the Sphinx, and she says, "Would you be willing to make a bargain? 1 life or 5 questions?"
I'm just going to say it. Insight check. What is she implying?
Proxima is the only one of the group who hasn't actually died yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so Proxima is offering her She's wagering her life to get everybody the answers.
Can I
Okay.
speak outside of game for a second?
Yeah.
No, never mind. I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I was just like, oh.
The Sphinx responds to you. As I said, a fool very rarely wishes to pay the price for the answer. You may wager one life for your question.
Well, I've died once. I'll die again.
Not the first big cat I've ever fought. Shall we?
Doc looks at Proxima, and mentally she'll hear sacrifice plays for video games. Sacrifice.
Doc, where do you come from, my man?
Well, you
Hanging out too
know,
much with Gallagher. or
a
something?
little place called the Mushroom Kingdom. No. Sacrifice plays are for Bordic tales. This is not the time to sacrifice. However, if it's what you wish to do, I believe most of us will do the same. And at the same time, because that was just mentally, I'll say, I believe we all are willing to die and live and die again for the answers. That is what it means to be a Gravvicon agent. Therefore, and I guess like start to summon a firebolt.
The daggers start to spin as well.
Gallagher summons astral arms.
Let's get these smites ready, boys.
And as you all prep all of these abilities and you begin to charge up, ready for battle, the Sphinx says one last time. A fool is very rarely willing to pay the price for knowledge. Are your questions worth your life? As it fades away and rising up from the ground are 5
No, ma'am.
shadowy figures
Oh, god damn it.
that
Aw.
mimic you exactly. And standing across from Proxima is a black silhouetted, hooded, with horns reaching back. And across from Doc is someone with a book held open and an owl on their shoulder, also pitch black. And at this point, 2 more arise and turn to look at Alonon and Amir. And Alonon says, well, okay, that's quite right. And summons a fireball above her head and says, but there's not really much to say. Copies and all that don't really measure up. So I'm willing to do this if you really want to. And Amir says, not really sure if death is on the table, so suppose we could have a go at this.
Oh god.
Yay.
Everyone, roll initiative.
Hell yeah.
While we're tussling for a fight, Gallagher's gonna say, "Hey Doc, how tough are you?"
Oh no.
Okay.
What's that con score, baby?
My con score is not good.
Oh,
All right. Ghost Doc is
Oh, I
gonna
see what
get
you mean.
fucked.
Yeah.
All right, should we switch targets or should we 1v1 ourselves, guys? We need a plan.
Oh, switch targets.
Which targets? We will not do well against ourselves.
Okay.
I'll take Doc.
Oh,
Taika, can I beat your ass?
Yes, absolutely.
Bucket, may I have the honor?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love
Thank
to
you,
have my
Bucket.
ass handed to you.
All right.
Gallagher,
So,
I feel bad, but I've wanted to smack you since I first met you, so I'll do it now.
Likewise.
so what do we got for initiative rolls? Let's get Proxima's roll.
Oh, I got a 5.
Okay, 5. What do we got for Taika?
4.
Okay.
Actually,
what do we got
3.
We're getting our
Not even a
asses
3.
beat.
Or 4. It's
3,
a 3.
okay.
It's a 3.
What do we got for Gallagher?
17.
All right. And for Bucket
16.
and Doc.
24.
Ooh. Okay, so Doc, you are up first.
I'm looking at myself. Yes.
Yep.
I'm looking at myself and I look at them. And you say he has a book, not tattoos?
Yeah, he has a book open.
Fuck. I apologize in advance, y'all. And Doc looks at himself, but then looks over at actual Gallagher and says, I do apologize, though. And he'll begin to... Actually, no, he stays where he is. And he says, you all have seen one part of me. You should probably see the other before they do. And I'm going to take out my book that I do still have. I just don't use it. And I begin to flip. And as I do, my eyes begin to glow. And I begin to speak in different languages before it settles on one. And I say, if I still can do this. And I'll reach inside the book and I'll begin to turn time for just a moment. And I'll throw that energy next to Bad Gallagher.
Okay.
And behind them, Atara Rook will appear as I summon Greater Demon.
Hell.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my action. Bonus action, I will do nothing right now because this is bad. And behind Gallagher, this big entity, it goes right after me. This big entity is just going to pound right down on Shadow Gallagher.
Gallagher.
No, I lied. It's not going to do that. It has a great sword. It's going to try to stab down on Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Gallagher. Yes. Gallagher. That might not hit though. 13.
Gallagher, what's your AC?
AC is 20.
Wait,
Not gonna-
it's only 20 because you have ceremony as well. So it's technically only 18.
Oh, it's not. Is it married to Shadow Bucket?
Oh yeah, you see the rings.
Damn it! No! How dare they?
Their friendship is as strong as ours.
Okay,
Thank you, best friendo.
That doesn't hit, and that's okay. It stabs down, and when it doesn't make purchase, it just begins to attempt to chomp on your head. That is a 23 to hit.
That's
That'll
going to
hit.
hit him.
Great. That's going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Cool. And yeah, you slash into this thing, and you bite in hard, and it looks like that was a pretty good hit. And that sword comes out of that demon pulls that sword back out of Shadow Gallagher. And is there anything else you do?
Galileo swoops down in Kakas, even though they don't do that, and swoops around other me for Bucket to get a better shot at him.
Okay. And with that in mind, now other you
No.
flips open their book and begins uttering a slew of words and ultimately settles on one language. As summoning behind you comes that same demon in shadow.
Oh, no!
No, you're not. Counterspell.
And you counterspell.
Mm-hmm.
And as you counterspell,
I
you
know.
shut that down. Now,
I
here's
know.
that.
I thought you were about to counterspell the counterspell.
With that counterspell, they're able to shut it down.
I know.
And
I
that
know.
same demon stands up behind you. Now,
I know.
the demon's particular name you said was?
It's a Tanaruk. I'll
Okay.
link it to you. It's bad.
Wait, Bucket, do you have Counterspell?
I don't have counterspell. No, I'm not a wizard. I'm.
Oh, lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so this creature makes
Oh, yeah, it was
its
close.
2 swings at
Did you get it?
you, Doc. Yeah, I just got it.
Great.
Makes its 2 swings at you, Doc.
Mhm.
One of them is a 2 + 7 for a 9 to hit, and the
I
other
got
is
no.
a natural 20.
I'm not a great player. Cool, great.
And so with that, this thing swings at you for... Oof. Okay, so we are looking at 16 in that swing. Oh, sorry, that is incorrect. I apologize. I rolled the wrong dice for that. That's not a bite.
Shit.
That is a 20 slashing damage
Okay, great.
as that thing slashes at you. And yeah, that slashes at you for 20 damage.
I shouldn't have done that. Oh. Cool, great.
And that creature makes a sound and it just screams out into the empty space you all now are in. And the owl swoops off of his shoulder and begins flying around evil Gallagher.
They are really copying us.
At the top of the order, we had Doc, which is now followed up by Gallagher. But before we do that, Doc, you had to add something in based on that
Yes.
spell, right?
Yes. I simply say, as I'm doing this, I say, warning, if you hit it with a melee attack, it won't like you in return. And I'll look at the Tanaruk that I summoned, and I say, Oraxios, you're mine. Don't forget that. It needs to make a charisma save at disadvantage. So I keep control.
Cool. It got a nat 1 and a 3, so I'm sure it failed.
Yep. Cool, great.
All right.
That's something.
Now over to Gallagher. Top, you're up.
Okay. All right. How far away is Taika from Doc on the other side?
So all of them. So Doc is basically, what is your lineup? Because they're mimicked to your lineup. So let's figure that out real quick. Doc, you were up first. Are you kind of in the center?
Bitch, I'm always in the center.
Okay.
But probably.
Okay.
Because I was one of the last ones speaking to the Sphinx.
Okay. Taika, are you on the far left or far right?
Probably far left.
Okay. And then Bucket, are you next to Taika or are you over on the other side?
I was near Proxima by the bookshelf. And
Okay.
Gallagher was behind me talking to the other robot. So
All right. So basically, in the order that you guys are at, we've got you basically in a line right now of from left to right: Taika, Gallagher, Doc, Proxima, Bucket.
Okay, so they're within 20 feet of each other. That's all I'm
Yeah,
trying to make
from Taika all the way to the other end of Bucket would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet total.
That's excellent. I'm gonna run straight up to Doc, to evil Doc, Shadow Doc, shock, if you will. And Gallagher is going to, first thing he's going. I want to break concentration, so we're flurry of blowsing this turn for the bonus action. But first thing, I'm going to use my favored foe dice on my first attack. But first, I gotta roll to hit.
Now, real quick, because I don't want to trip up the momentum, but what we just rolled, Doc, if you need to hang on to control, what is the control number that you need to hit?
16 is my save DC.
Okay.
So it has to roll
And it's
under
a
that
charisma save?
charisma save. And I'll not.
Okay,
it's
that was a
even
15.
metagaming because you just heard me say it, but you know I said his name for a reason.
Yeah. And this is where your mimic does the same thing and says the name, but it's like in a garbled that you don't quite hear it. And that demon got a 15 on its save, so almost lost control. Now, as your first hit swings, Gallagher, I just want to make sure I mimic properly.
All right. First hit is going to be a 27 to hit.
Doc, does that hit? Yes.
Don't even ask that question.
All right. This is going to be with my favored foe dice. Doc, you are now my favorite foe. Well, Shadow Doc, you're my favorite foe. Congratulations.
Shock, as you said.
Shock, yes. You take an extra D4 on my first hit every single turn. That is a crispy 14 force damage.
14.
Yes, and now it has to make a concentration saving throw.
Yes.
And also, I'm going to Stunning Strike on top of this,
Okay.
and it will have to make another Constitution saving throw against my spell save DC.
Okay, and so on that first roll there, it looks like. Sorry, I have to literally use your guys' stats against you. So
You just want us to send you our character sheets again?
no, I've got
It's
it.
a
I've got
plus
it.
one.
He
Uh,
has them.
So on that concentration hold, he gets a 9 and loses concentration. And so with that total, that
Roll the
banishes the Tanaruk, or it
nope.
loses
Roll a
control.
d6.
Oh boy.
Rolling that d6, that's a 6.
Uh-oh.
It is here for another 6 rounds, and then it disappears.
Excellent.
Cool.
Great.
Now the question is, does he attack us or does he attack the one that chained him up? I don't know. It's up to you. I'm just saying.
Guess we'll see.
That is, and
so
now
that's
it
your
has to
first
make
hit?
a second and now it has to make a second Constitution saving throw to avoid being stunned.
That is a 15.
Ooh, my spell saves a 16. You are stunned, Shock.
And now it is stunned. Excellent.
Gallagher,
Let's
how it
go.
stuns is Gallagher just like drops his shoulder and this other arm just lands a meaty punch straight to the jaw and he's like stumbling.
All right, that's
and
one
now
hit.
the next hit is this hit's gonna have advantage because you are stunned.
Free action, I guess. Say, remind me to never get into an altercation with you.
That actually I can't. I guess I can. This would be the second action. No, never mind. That is going to be a 24 to hit, assumedly.
Yeah, it's going to hit.
That is 7 force damage.
And as you strike for that 7, this shadowy figure melts into shadow and is just gone.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting. Who is immediately beside me?
So to your left is you, and to your right is since you're coming from the other way, to your left is Proxima Shadow, and right is Shadow you, who has a bird flying around for advantage.
Okay, I'm going to punch. I'm going to flurry of blows. Man, I'm burning key quickly. I'm going to flurry of blows, and I'm going to swing to hit
At who?
at myself.
Okay.
That is a 26 to hit.
Okay, and that would hit you, yes.
Yes, that would hit
Okay.
myself.
So
And now I'm going to hit myself with a stunning strike as well.
deliver
burning
damage.
All right, yeah, for sure. Damage is 7 force damage.
Okay. And you strike for 7, and Shadow you does not look good at all.
Shadow Me also has to make a Constitution saving throw
And
or be stunned.
that's a 4 on the die, so they are stunned.
Awesome.
Quick question, not to keep butting in, but because how much damage you did a good chunk of damage the first round, didn't you? Me,
I did 15 plus 7. That was 23 total.
that's what I thought. Did he look like me physically too? Obviously physically, but did he look like me health wise as well?
Oh yeah, he looks identical to you. It's like
Okay.
if someone drew you in just line art and then filled that in with shadows.
I guess I'm wondering if did it seem like the shadows have less of a capability to withstand damage, or if it literally matched me and my current state of health? Okay, valid. Continue.
I've stunned me. Should I kill me, or should I stop Proxima from doing something? Shadow Proxima, Shoxima.
A Proxima, if you will.
Mhm. Should I stop a Proxima?
Yes.
Sure. So Gallagher, you're stunned. Bow. Next punch is going to Shaproxima. That is an 18 to hit.
Proxima does an 18 break your AC.
Oh God, yes.
Okay, so an
Heck
18
yeah.
hits.
That's going. Shadow Proxima is taking 10 force damage,
Okay.
and I'll spend my last key point. Constitution saving throw, please, from
All right.
Proxima.
And that is a 15. So again, she is stunned.
Stunned.
Nice.
And you have now
And that-
stunned both yourself and Proxima.
Mhm. All right, that's my turn. That's it.
Okay.
What a hell of a turn.
And now Shadow Gallagher stands and does nothing as they are stunned this round.
As you
Which-
should learn your place.
Takes us to Bucket. Bucket, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna. Fuck. Okay. I guess I'm gonna look over at Shadow Taika. Shika? What?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'll fucking. I don't know. I guess I'll attack him. Wait, actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack him. Why the hell not? All right. So I'm gonna attack him with my rapier, and I'm gonna add my divine smite on top of that. And as a bonus action, I'm also gonna activate my my searing smite. So roll the hit. That's only a 16.
Okay. 16 to hit your. Which one are you attacking?
Taika.
So 16. Does that break your AC, Taika?
Oh yeah, 15 AC, right? Oh,
Oh.
does Shadow Taika have the dagger swirling or not?
Yes.
Then it's 15.
If you do, yes.
Yes.
All right. So cool. So now I roll damage now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. There we go. All right. Cool. So that's 5 damage on the rapier. Now for the divine smite, that is an extra 2d8. So that's an extra 8 damage, and then I'm also adding my my searing smite on top of that. I'm rolling so low. This is terrible. This
We're gonna need you to
disgusting.
do better.
So 8 plus
I
8, you're at
know, I
13.
know. Sorry, not my searing smite, my thunderous smite. That's my bad. And that is an extra 5 damage, and I'm gonna use my second attack to also do this.
All right. So you did 13 plus 5 for 18 total.
Second
And
attack.
then your second attack, swing to hit.
Fuck, that is a 11. All right, cool. Action surge, doing it again. This is horrendous. Come on.
All right. So we
Okay.
missed with that first, but that second is
24. Roll damage now. Cool, that's a lot better. That's an 11 right off the bat. Another.
and that shadow falls apart
Nice. Nice.
and just falls to the ground.
Cool. I'll use my second attack and I'll turn towards I guess Shadow Proxima, and I'll start.
No.
attack-
Oh yeah, I guess you can make that movement for
yeah,
sure.
and I'll start attacking Shadow Proxima.
Okay.
Proxima.
Shoxima?
Shoxima.
You have advantage
That's
to hit, by the way.
Yeah, that's
because
damage.
you
I
have
actually
stunned.
damage. Cool. First
Yeah, you have
roll.
advantage because she's stunned.
Cool. So that's only an 11 seconds. That is 12. Nah, not gonna hit.
Okay, so the 12 as you slash at a stunned her doesn't quite get through the armor that Shadow
Cool.
Prox.
Yeah, and then now it's my Hellcat's turn, right? Or is it?
Yes.
Cool. And then I'm gonna have my Hellcat. Fine. I'm gonna have my Hellcat use Death Gaze on the weakest person we're fighting against.
And it turns and it smells and it looks at Shadow Gallagher. And they need to make a con save. Okay, that is a 19 plus your con, so I assume
That
it
would be
passes.
That
21.
saves. That saves.
Okay.
Cool. And that's the whole action from. Yeah, that's an action as a Hellcat. Cool.
Okay. So yeah, tried to straight up murder. Excellent. Anything else?
Nope. I'm gonna stand over the puddle of shadow Taika, and I'm gonna look back and I'm like, I am so sorry.
Okay. And Shadow Bucket rushes forward at you directly and swings at you with the 2 attacks. That's 2-5 on the die, so I know that that's not going to hit. And then is going to action surge and swing at you again, missing all 4 times.
Get better form, Bucket.
You saw what I just did.
Bucket, make an insight check.
Inside. Okay. Is that? That's a nat 1.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Never mind. Okay, so yeah, this Bucket rushes at you and slashes and slashes and slashes.
And now
which-
it's Shadow Hellcat's turn.
Which one of you has the lowest health?
Pretty sure that's Doc.
Hi.
I don't even know
Yeah.
where I'm at.
I'm
right
so
now.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Doc,
Makes us save.
that's a Constitution save.
Oh, you did it.
That's a saucy
I
one.
have only a +1 to my con. I rolled
Oh
an 18,
no.
so 19.
Nice.
Oh, I thought I was dead, y'all.
27
like,
damage.
welp.
27 damage, and it just takes your soul.
Okay, and that ends the Bucket to Bucket turn. Turns us over to Proxima.
Can I get a recap of the shadows? Like who's left? What?
So yes, Shadow Taika has been dropped. Shadow Doc has been dropped. Shadow Proxima has been stunned, and Shadow Gallagher has been stunned and heavily wounded.
Okay.
So there's
Proxima-
only Proxima, Gallagher, and Bucket left.
Okay. I'm gonna go for. You said that. I'm sorry. You said Tycho was looking the roughest.
Taika's gone and Doc is gone.
Okay.
Gallagher's looking the rough.
Gallagher.
rough.
Sorry. Proxima is gonna try for a guiding bolt on Gallagher.
Cool.
Oh God. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Oh Lord Jesus. It did
You have
not.
advantage to hit.
It's a 17 plus.
Okay. Yeah. That did not hit. Okay. It didn't hit. That's fine.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did not. I'll do it again.
Roll with
He's
advantage.
stunned.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Hold on. We're doing it. Maybe. Or my D20 is gonna. There we go. Okay.
That's a 66.
God damn it. I don't know. It's not working. Fuck. Okay.
Do you have a regular D20?
Yeah, I do. I'll just roll that. Do. That's a 13. Fuck me all the
Plus
way.
anything added to your guiding bolt? Your
Guiding bolt.
spellcasting mod, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's an 18. Does that hit?
18 does not hit.
No,
God
because we're married.
damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be weird, but Proxima's watching all of this go down. Proxima is gonna pull out. This is a fucking risky bet. Proxima's gonna pull out Spectre, and
Yeah.
Proxima just not like a lot. I want to be very clear. Not like a lot. Like she's gonna cut herself on her own arm, and looks at Shadow Proxima to see what happens.
Would you roll damage on that cut?
Yes, just like a D20.
Shadow Proxima is stunned
yeah,
and
so-
can't do anything.
So if you're trying to just like roll low, just make it a D6.
Okay. The 1.
Okay. And you cut yourself, and a cut shows up on Shadow Proxima.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that for right now.
Okay. And Shadow Proxima is stunned and cannot do anything, so it takes us over to Taika's turn.
Ooh, finally. I thought this was going to be over before I got up. So Taika is going to walk up, so he is within 20 feet of the 3 other combatants, and he is going to use his action to trigger his daggers, who they're all 3 going to make just their ranged attacks.
Okay.
And do I get separate, do I get 3 attacks for each one, or do I have to, like, because I want to basically try and get one person then move.
Yeah, so
for
it's
the
a,
other
it's a
two.
roll per each dagger.
Great. First one's going straight at Gallagher. And I
Okay.
believe I have advantage
it.
on that, right?
Yep, he's got
Yes.
an AC of 20.
First
Curse
one
my wisdom.
is an 18. Second one is a 19.
And both miss.
I'm going to keep going. That's first one is a 5. Second one is a 21.
And that finally connects.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
how much damage?
That is that's I get to do 3d4. Sorry. I thought it was just 1d4. That's 11 damage.
And that shadow falls.
And then for the third one, I'm going to go after Proxima.
And you
That's-
also have advantage.
Yep. So first one's
Damn, how
AC
many
of-
attacks do you get?
I get three with the daggers if
Three
I
of
burn
the
an
daggers
action.
fly in.
Yeah. So that third one is that's a 19. That's 3d4.
Proxima, your AC
Right,
is
ooh.
18, right?
17.
17, yeah, so that hits.
Okay, and that is 11.
11 to Proxima, okay.
And then Corso, can I now use a bonus action to cast a spell with the daggers?
So if one of them that went, particularly the one, if you're asking like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, you can. You can definitely trigger that bonus action that's in the spell.
I want to cast Ice Storm with the blue dagger using the bonus action trigger.
Cool.
Okay, and so the blue dagger having dug in, did that one hit Gallagher? Did that one hit Proxima?
That one hit Gallagher.
So over near Gallagher, which is sort of in the middle of everything, Ice Storm begins. And so you're able to burn that for its one use.
Sweet. And that is 20 foot radius. So I'm hoping that if he's in the middle,
That'll
that
get
gets
all of
all of them. Dex save, please.
Okay.
Proxima instantly fails because they are stunned.
Yes. So Proxima takes how much damage?
Okay, so for Ice Storm, it is 4d6 plus 2d8. I'm going to roll that now.
Okay.
Jesus.
And Bucket is
That's
going to make a Dex
14
save.
plus
Bucket passes.
6. So that's 20 damage or 10 on a successful save.
And that shadow falls. And 10 damage goes to Bucket for that successful save.
Ooh, let's go.
That's gonna hit. That's gonna probably hit Gallagher.
Yeah,
like
Gallagher, real
as well.
Gallagher's up close, right?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and
Oh.
make that. Go ahead and make
Dex
that
save?
save then. Yep.
Mm.
I can take it. I can take it.
And I guess technically real Bucket is also up in that, right? Because that whole
24.
line is going to come under fire.
24 on the dex save, so 10 damage.
Yeah.
All right, so 10 damage.
Yep, it's a
Yep.
15 DC.
19.
All right,
Sweet.
so 10 damage.
10 damage.
Okay. So now is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I can't do anything else. I burned everything.
The shadow on the floor where Taika was destroyed reassembles
No.
and is now right back up and turns and summons 3 daggers and targets Taika.
Fuck.
I'm gonna die.
Taika.
I know what we have to do. I just realized.
Wait. How close?
I-
How far?
yeah.
Away, how far away from you are me? How far away from you are me? How far away from you?
So, did
So you went
Were they
after
not all the way
Proxima
down?
last. So you were all the way over at the other side, Bucket. So there are essentially 3 between you and Shadow Taika.
So I couldn't use my interception ability to
No, he's at the far end. Yeah, that's why we mapped out real quick. Taika, he throws a dagger at you for a nat 20.
that's a miss? No, I'm just kidding.
So that is going to be 6d4.
Was there still one shadow up?
There was Bucket up
Oh,
as you hit
okay.
them for 10. Bucket was the only one left up.
got it.
And so that's 13 damage hits you.
Okay.
And how you looking?
Okay.
Cool, because a 17 plus whatever your is to such or a dagger.
The daggers have a +3 to hit.
All right, so that's a 20 to hit.
Yep, that's gonna hit.
Okay. And that dagger hits you for 8.
Okay,
And then an 11 misses you.
11 does miss.
But the blue, as it glows,
Of course
casts
it does.
Ice Storm.
Of course it does.
Can I counterspell that with my gloves?
This is a magic item. Casting a spell.
Is
But
it,
your
is it
gloves-
a magic item? I'm asking for a reason because this has come up so many times as of recently. Is it a magic item producing an effect, or is it a magic item casting a spell? What
So
does the wording
It is. It is cast ice storm on a
Yes,
hit.
so it casts the spell. So you can interrupt a casted spell.
All right, Gallagher's gonna attempt to interrupt that. What's the level of the spell?
So Ice Storm is a. Oop! I just had it. It is a 4th level spell.
Ah, okay. So that's a DC 14. I've got to beat a 14.
Yeah,
I think you got
That is a 19.
it. Hey.
excellent. And so yes, you disrupt the Ice Storm as it starts to glow, and you just kind of with your gloves snatch that and go, nope,
Just throw it on the ground.
stop
A little
that.
bit, a little bit of Elsa on the ground. Just- no.
Okay, and that is going to be its turn. And now it is back up to the top of the order with Doc. Doc, make an insight check.
Oh yeah, 24.
Cool. Yeah, that thing swung at you, and it hit pretty hard too. But it didn't seem to be like a killing blow.
Mhm.
No one targeted you except for the Hellcat, based on its parameters, even though you were the weakest at this moment.
Wait, okay, that gets sucked me up. Hold on. I got
so-
targeted, but it didn't seem like it was a killing blow.
You got targeted by yourself only, and then the cat on its ruling of who had the lowest health. And so, regardless of what you did, you pieced together it only attacked you.
And
And
Bucket,
the other ones
Shadow
only
Bucket-
attacked.
Shadow Bucket
their-
only attacked me.
Yep. Same with
Yeah,
Tycho.
yeah.
Same with Gallagher.
But I was going with my passive perception. Could I have noticed what? I mean, I think it's very clear when Proxima decides to use a weapon on herself. Could I have noticed that the shadow was affected by that?
Yep. Yeah, you would have seen that happen.
Yep. Okay. Now the question is, does it only work when you do the blow or when you just take damage? I'm going to test the theory. I look at Bucket.
Real
No.
Bucket?
No, I look at Taika, real Taika, and I say, "Do you trust me?"
This is yo.
Yeah, no, I can take it.
Okay, the Tanaruk is going to attack you once,
I thought.
just to see. I need my own action, just in case. Yeah, that's 19 on a die.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
Roll
a
damage.
bite. It's a bite, so that'll be 1d. 6 points of piercing damage to you.
I'm good.
What happened to Shadow Taika?
Nothing.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thought.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
I go. I'll let you repay that later.
I hope this
I know-
research experiment was fruitful for you.
Do we all see this happen?
I think Doc's explaining right now.
Yeah. And I say, stand back. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Hopefully. And I go to the back of the room, just as far away as I can from the ones that are next to me.
Cast
make sure
fireball
they're
on
not-
yourself.
And you see a rune begin to glow as a big fireball.
Yep.
Thanks for ruining the moment.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you'd actually do it.
Yes, I'm doing it.
It was exactly my plan. It's fine.
Yeah. And I look up and go, oh, this is going to hurt. And I just let my hands go, and it just right on top of me, and I'm going to fail my dex save.
Okay, so take that fireball.
Yep. Oh, okay. Oh, where are you at?
You're gonna go down, man.
Oh, I'm aware I'm going to go down. This is the point of me going
Yeah.
down. Not in a good way either.
Nobody can save you.
Okay. Maybe it's a good thing. 17, math, 21. Yeah, there's no way I'm driving this. 21, 29,
Oof.
33. Mathiana, 39 points of fire damage to myself.
Okay.
I had 28 points of damage, health.
And you all watch as Doc summons a fireball above his head and says, "Trust me," and brings it down on himself. And then Doc falls to his knees and face first hits the ground. And across the room, the shadow Doc does the same. And that shadow hits the ground and vanishes completely. Doc does not get up.
Okay.
So, ending both Doc and Shadow Doc's turn, the Kanaru turns around and looks at you all and charges at Proxima.
Oh, no, thank you.
And it swings its greatsword at you for a 15, and then tries to bite at you for a 25.
The bite will hit.
And the bite deals 6 damage,
Okay.
piercing,
Okay.
and that is the end. Gallagher, you're up.
Gallagher's just like, what? What just happened? Was that the plan? I look at is Shadow Me still standing?
No, Shadow, you got taken out by Bucket.
Is there like a pool of shadow where it was?
Yeah.
Is there any shadow still standing?
Bucket.
Nothing personal, hubby.
Gallagher's probably hasn't put 2 and 2 together yet that you should probably that if you must hurt yourself for this one. So he's gonna go bonkers and start whacking at Shuck It, as it were.
Okay, go after Bucket.
That is a critical hit.
Okay, land that.
I will mark Shuck It as my favored foe
Cool.
as well. So that is going to take an additional D4. That is 8 plus 12. That is 15. That is 20 force damage from that first hit.
And that shadow turns into a pool.
Gallagher's going to look around.
Did we pay the price?
I think
I don't.
I think Doc was on the right track.
Oh!
Gallagher's going to aim his fists at himself. Just stands up and be like, hit me! And mark himself as his own favorite foe.
I want to kill myself.
Roll. Can I do I need to roll to hit, or do I just roll damage on myself?
So yeah, this is always a weird one when it comes to damaging yourself. But I think if you're deliberately trying to do it, you can just go right ahead.
Can I insta-crit myself?
You know what?
I know where my liver. I know where my liver is.
You know what? Yeah, if you're gonna insta crit yourself, I could allow that on yourself.
All right.
I hate this.
Goodbye. Change the world.
Wait, can you cast Hunter's Mark on yourself? I want to see how much damage I can do on myself.
What, is it okay if we just instantly kill ourselves, or like?
Choose creature you can see within range. Mystically mark. I'm a creature and I'm within range. Bonus action Hunter's Mark myself. This will be 4d6 for this on self punch. That was nearly max damage. That is 16, 20, 25 force damage as I uppercut myself right in the face.
Yeah, and as you do that, the pool of shadow kind of fluctuates a bit on the ground. Now, Bucket, you were just asking a question, right?
Yeah, could we just instantly kill ourselves if we wanted to? Like, not roll damage, but just like, if I slit my own throat, could I die?
You could do something like that.
I'm gonna
if
slit
you-
my own throat.
If you would like to. Now, hold on. Before we get to your moment, Gallagher, you've just attacked yourself. You've dealt all this damage. And yeah, your shadow on the floor definitely reacts. Is there anything else you want to do?
Use my bonus action. Is there any way for me to deal 19 points of damage on self right now?
Giving you the same leeway, if you are trying to think of how to hurt yourself, I'm sure you as a warrior would know some way to do so, if that's what your goal is.
Gallagher's just gonna look at Doc, what Doc did. He's like, I hope that old man was right. And he's gonna have his astral arm grab himself by the leg and just like whirligig throw himself on the ground.
Like
you
Hulk
watch-
Loki style, just
And you watch as Gallagher smashes, and then those astral arms fade away. And Gallagher has been put down. Bucket, it gets to your moment, and at this exact moment, you turn and you see the shadow of Alunon run her through.
Oh,
And then
no.
pull out the sword, and Alunon falls.
does the shadow fall or no?
The shadow just stands there.
Fuck!
And Amir turns and goes, "The fuck do you mean?" And dashes to claw at that shadow and smashes right through it into nothing as it turns into a pool on the ground and then dissolves slowly.
Fuck.
Bucket, your move. Gallagher and
Are we
Doc
still
are both
technically in
down.
combat?
Right now, technically, all of the creatures have been knocked out. So yeah, you're not necessarily in combat at the exact second.
I'm gonna go use stabilize and lay on hands Alunon.
Okay. Yeah, so you rush over and you try to heal Alanon. And yeah, you stabilize and you lay on hands some of your points. So yeah, that's been done.
All right, is Alunon conscious or no?
No, she is not waking up.
Fuck. The shadow's gone though, right?
The shadow has dissolved, yeah.
Am I not fading from existence as well?
Nope. Roll a Arcana check.
I'm so
Oh,
fucking stressed out right
no.
now.
Hey, look at the
Uh,
bright side. I can't fuck your mom now.
Yeah! Yeah! That's a 16.
Okay. So with a 16, you've heard of sphinxes and having their own little like pocket dimensions for tests and trials. You don't know all the details, but at least that comes to mind.
All right, I'm gonna look at Amir. I'm gonna look down at like my dead mother in my arms, and I'll be like, I'm gonna trust the doctor, and I'm gonna take out my rapier, and I'm just gonna slit my own throat.
And Bucket's character collapses. And the shadow pool of Bucket's energy fades away.
I guess we're like in the background. Bucket's cat just says, "Damn, double homicide."
The Hellcat or my real cat?
Yeah,
Both.
all of it. Which leaves, ending your turn, turns it over to Proxima, and none of the shadows remain except for Amir's shadow.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I gotta do what Proxima would do. So Proxima has watched all of this happen, and Proxima has seen Doc fall, and she's seen a couple others, but Proxima's gonna rush over Doc. And Proxima is going to cast life transference on Doc. So Proxima is going to basically swapsies with Doc in order to try and stabilize him and also do damage to herself at the same time. Like life for life.
Okay.
That's what Proxima's going to do.
Okay, 4d8 necrotic damage. And you can give that amount of hit points to...
So 21. I'm going to take 21 points of damage.
And you give them twice that hit points.
Yeah. So then you get definitely good at math 42 back, Doc. And then I think Proxima's gonna think it through and not use Spectre because I don't know about loopholes and shit. And
But do I
think,
come back?
No.
I thought.
Okay. Well, and I think Proxima Proxima realizes, she's like, oh, okay. So then she's gonna take a clue from Bucket and she's gonna just fucking stab herself in the neck or some shit.
Okay. And Proxima stabs herself and she falls. And the pool of shadow where Proxima's shadow was vanishes. And all that's left is Taika by himself. And all of your teammates are down. Their bodies are there. And
You
they're
just watched all of us
Yeah.
kill ourselves. How
Yeah.
traumatic
all
is that gonna
mortally
be?
wounded.
Is Amir and the Amir shadow still there?
Yes, Amir and the Amir shadow.
Yeah,
is
so
still there. And
Taika-
Alunan's body, yeah.
So Taika is going to run up to Amir's shadow, and then he's going to shout to Amir, look, just follow my lead. And he takes his deck of cards and does like a shuffle, but straight up into the air. So there's 52 cards kind of hovering above him. And then he's going to cast a level 4 shatter, and the cards just come straight down on both him
both of you?
and the shadow, not on Amir though.
Okay.
You chose pain. You chose
Uh,
pain.
Yeah. And,
I'm not
you
going to die though. That's a 16.
Okay, and so yeah, that comes raining down on you, and you can feel that, but you are able to, if you would like to, ultimately end this.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna cast a I will just ultimately just like take out the dagger. Does the shadow go away though, or no? With the
You
16
dealt
damage.
16?
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Okay. Well,
It is also just splayed out down like you are after the hit.
totally. Yep. And then I will just take the dagger, look at Amir. Look, we need you on the other side. Your help is invaluable. And
Okay, and that happens, Taika, and you black out. And Doc, you were the first one out. And you were standing back where you were in the aisle. And the cat that has become the Sphinx is still standing there looking at you. And you realize the other 5 are just standing next to you. And their eyes are shut. And then slowly, the next to follow, Gallagher opens his eyes.
Here we go. That's surprising.
To be honest, I'm just as surprised as you.
Next, Alunan opens her eyes. And she goes, I knew it. And that is soon followed by Bucket.
You did
you
a
are
cool
stand-
flip, Gallagher.
I flipped myself and noted I'm very good at punching myself in the face.
Quite.
And then next comes Proxima.
What the actual fuck?
Oh,
Then Taika.
I am kind of sad that you guys didn't get to see what I just did. It was pretty cool.
I bet that looks so cool though.
But Amir has not opened his eyes.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
I thought I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we lost Amir.
And
Is he just
go ahead.
going to be stuck there until he figures it out, or?
And
I told him.
that's where Alanon says, yes, I explained that they weren't swinging at us fatally. I believe we simply had to accept the attack from them and we would be let out. Is it worth your life? I surrendered myself to my shadow. Therefore, I surrendered myself to my question. I mean, that's what you all experienced, yes?
Yeah, totally. That's absolutely what I did.
Well,
You
no,
know,
that's not.
I didn't stand over
my-
your dead body and kill myself. No.
My conclusion came from the fact that, you know what, the only person who can beat me is myself. And so before I let that other
Momentary
me get the chance,
stasis.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
I don't know why. I'm not sure why he's not figured it out yet. I mean, we explained it.
The question isn't, did he figure it out? The question is, did he want to figure it out?
Maybe this was his choice.
If he saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us do what needed to be done and has not opened his eyes, that simply means he did not choose to see our truths as the truth.
Perhaps, and this comes from the Sphinx, perhaps the answers are not worth his life. And it walks towards you all. I am Ari. Welcome to Gilramore. Now, children of Gravvicon, I have been holding on to your book for a long time. I assume you're finally here to pick it up.
I'd like to check that out, please.
Yes.
do we need a library card?
You have passed. You have gained access to this level of the library. You may inspect anything of this library that you would like. Enjoy. And the Sphinx goes and sits directly in front of Amir and just continues staring at the last member still trapped in the quiz, in the trial, in the test.
It was more like a pop quiz.
Yeah.
Or Amir, though. Aw.
And that is where we end this week's session. As you all have made your way through the trial and have been given the green light to check out anything you'd like to in this level of the library, as well as collect a book that's been waiting for you for a very long time. Amir sits fighting a shadow, hands slashing through and slashing and slashing again. The bodies of all of these teammates will not rise. Amir scrambles and grabs a health potion out of one of their pockets and tries to feed it to one of them, but she will not rise. Amir figured if that was really the way out, then they should have vanished. They should have woken up. They should have done something, right? And this goes on and on. Amir turns and heads off into the distance trying to aim for the expanse of this dimension, trying to run to the edges of it, but it goes on and it goes on, and that shadow pursues. And Amir turns back and continually slashes it down yet again, his fangs descending, and something inside of him, something preventing Amir from passing. And one day, after what seems like an eternity, Amir finally surrenders and holds his clawed hands out wide. And he says, "If you're wrong, I will chase you through the depths of hell." And as his shadow digs its claws directly into his chest and withdraws, Amir opens his eyes. And he is alone in the library.